Hi, day 5. Oh my God, so much has been happening. I really want to share with you some pertinent percolations, but before I do that, I'll quickly introduce myself for anyone who's new here. My name is S.A.A.R.A. I am a composer, producer, bass player, performer. I write and produce my own orchestral funk EDM music. I'm also a creative empowerment coach because I really strongly believe in the power of your creativity to help you create the life that you want to live. Whether it's something that you want to pursue as your main vocation, or whether it's just a hobby that you want to get back to because it brings you so much, I'm here to say go for it. Don't be the person who says no to your own dreams. Like, absolutely no way. You are the only one who can move forward with your creative vision. So you've got to just trust and believe that where you are right now, who you are right now, is the perfect person to make it happen. I say that because that was me. I say that as someone who wasn't doing anything creative for nearly 10 years and wondering why my life sucked, why I was constantly moving sideways in a career, always the person at the bottom end of the pay scale, but at the top end of accountability and expectation, always the one who didn't really have their own plans going on. I'd be dropped at a moment's notice, like always the one to kind of like backfill and stop gap and, make the numbers up. I just wasn't living my own life. I felt like a NPC in my own life. It sucked. And then one day I said, what would happen if you actually just gave it a shot? Actually spent the time and the energy that you dedicate to all these spaces that don't give a flying rat's tail about your joy and happiness. What would happen if I gave a flying rat's tail about my joy and happiness and did the thing that, quite frankly, I'd gotten myself into a space that I was too afraid to do? So I took the leap. I started to reconnect with my creative power, and slowly but surely, like a deck of cards, everything that wasn't serving me started to fall away. Now, was it a difficult journey? Absolutely, yes. And the final frontier for me, as I said in my previous video for day 1, the final frontier was where I needed to now start confronting some of the deeper buried issues that were preventing me from really tapping into my joy, really expressing myself creatively, being able to create a coaching community around that authentically, shake off the imposter syndrome, and just start believing in myself truly that I am worthy of the life that I want to live. So to do some of that more challenging work, I took some time out because I noticed there were things I was carrying with me that I actually needed to stop and process. And I want to share those things with you now. And actually, these are the 10 things that I am giving up. These are the 10 things that, as of today, I no longer do. And yeah, I'd love to hear what you think about some of these, whether any of these resonate. Let me know, drop a comment as I go, because I don't know about you, but some of these, until I stopped, some of these I didn't even realize were up in the driving seat with me, like forcing my hand in how I move forward in life. So here we go. Number 1, perfectionism. The need for everything to be perfect, to have the perfect time, the perfect tools, the perfect resources, etc. I mean, check out this video. Like, my camera phone stand broke and now I'm having to deal with these jaunty angles. Should I wait until I get a new stand and I can... No, just do it. Imperfectly done is better than perfectly undone. And I know it's an old age adage, but it's a good one for a reason, because I was letting perfectionism trip me up every step along the way. That's number one. Number two, procrastination. It just became second nature to have an idea and go, I'll do that when. I'll do that when I blah. Like, I'll do that when I get back in from work. Okay, well, I've got in from work. I'm exhausted. I'm actually just going to doom scroll on my sofa. And before you know it, the day is done. Procrastination got to go, because wasting those opportunities, not seizing on those moments of inspiration, I'm just cheating myself out of discovering something that could be life-changing, or for the fact that I just didn't want to do it, you know. And usually I found with me, procrastination, perfectionism, hand in hand, like salt and pepper. Like, if you got one, you got the other. I was procrastinating because I was scared I wasn't perfect. Got to go. We no longer procrastinate out here, okay? Number three, comparison. The comparison-itis was strong, particularly when it came to music. You know, I'm like working like the clappers. Okay, I'm doing this thing, I'm doing that thing, I'm making content, I'm posting every day, I'm running around in circles, I'm applying for this, I'm applying for that. It was just this constant ratcheting up of, you know, the stakes. And I'm doing that, and I'm looking to the left, and I'm looking to the right, and I'm looking up, and I'm saying, why is everyone else's journey easier than mine? Why is everyone else's stuff better than mine? I had made this decision that I was here and everyone else was here, and I was comparing, you know, and it did me no favors. It actually brought a lot of misery, and it stopped me from being able to enjoy my own journey and my own progression and my own trajectory. Yes, I was moving forward, but because it didn't look like everyone else's, I started to discount my own journey because it didn't look like other people's. So yeah, I also found that my comparisonitis was locking me out from what it actually was, which was inspiration. To see other people around you calling in the things that you are calling to and calling for. Be inspired instead, like, because that then means you can reach out and ask the question. You can reach out and ask for support and guidance and say, I really love what you're doing. Like, can you tell me more about that? Can you tell me more about how you made that sound? Or how did you make that content? Or how did you find that show? You know, get out of comparison and be an inspiration instead. It's so much more freeing. Number four, which kind of is a roundup of the top three already, is self-doubt. I was addicted to it because it was easy. You know, I was the first person to tell me no. Like, I've got this idea. Nope, it's not going to work. You know, I want to go in this direction. Nope, you possibly can't. Like, you're not enough. You're not good enough. I don't have this. I don't have that. And it was so insidiously ingrained in me that even when I was doing great things, it just didn't seem to hit the sides, because actually my comfort zone, my automatic loop was self-doubt, and I just kept reinforcing that with how I was constantly trying to be perfect, constantly comparing myself, and putting off developing the skills because I wasn't willing to take the risk and take the jump. So yeah, the self-doubt, let's throw it out. Number five, weak boundaries. Weak boundaries around my time, weak boundaries around my dream, my creative vision. Oh my gosh, I was not discerning about some of the energies I allowed into that very sacred space. my music was my sanctuary. My music had rescued me from that kind of 10-year experience of just feeling trapped in a joyless life. And I made this new space and it was incredible. It was so freeing and energizing and beautiful. But because I hadn't done the work on the self-doubt, the comparison, the procrastination, the perfectionism, I had very weak boundaries and I wasn't discerning about who I allowed into that space. In fact, I was constantly feeling like even I wasn't good enough to be in that space. I wasn't worthy of protecting the time that it needed for me to create that work. I was constantly subject to other people's needs and demands, expectations, beliefs, opinions. I had very weak boundaries. We don't do that anymore. Oh no, we don't do that anymore. And again, a little bit along those weak boundaries was the negative self-talk. I was so readily available to put myself down. And the problem with that then became I was readily available for other people to put me down. I mean, I can take a joke. I'm here for it. I love a good laugh, but routinely allowing myself to be the butt of the joke, routinely allowing myself to be in situations where there was a lot of negative talk towards me. And this includes very problematic, toxic, racist work environments. It was so normal for me to be in those spaces because I had grown up becoming a person who was the first one in line to smack talk myself. You know, oh, you dumb whatever, or stupid girl, or oh, like I'd look in the mirror even and I wouldn't have affection towards myself. And that meant it was just a green light for anyone else who wanted to show up and echo that sentiment. It was normal for me. It was normal until I said no. And so many things in my life changed in an instant when I stopped the negative self-talk because I wasn't saying it to myself. It then became weird that other people were saying it to me. And when I stopped that, alongside stopping the weak boundaries, I became a very difficult person to abuse. And it made me a very difficult person to remain in those abusive dynamics. And again, a difficult journey, but one that I'm so glad I embarked on because I don't know where I would be if I didn't realize I needed to exit those dynamics. It was a lot. Probably another video's worth. So let's continue to number 7, the need for external validation. I am not doing that anymore. Hell no. A bit like the comparison where you're like, okay, they're doing this, I should be doing that. They're doing this, maybe I should be doing that. It was also the need for external validation. Now, particularly when it came to the music, I'm trying to create content, I'm trying to release songs, I'm trying to have competitive, aesthetics when it comes to videos and photo shoots. And, all the while I'm self-funding all of this. So then I think, okay, I need to start applying for grants and opportunities. And basically, I was looking for something outside of myself to say, you are worth this. You are worth this dream. You can make it happen. You are on the right track. And every time I turned to a new vista to find that validation, every time I was met with a rejection, it was like, oof, it was crushing. It was crushing because I so desperately needed someone outside of myself to say, I'm worthy. And even in the instances where they did, I wasn't hearing it because I was so wrapped up in the negative self-talk. Even when someone says, hey, that's brilliant. Okay, well, you think it's good, but it's not good enough, is it? I was so ready to accept every setback and rejection as confirmation that I didn't deserve my dream, rather than confirmation that this isn't the path for me to follow. And once I started to realize that I was motivated by a need for external validation, I was then able to reconnect with my why. Like, why did I want to make music? Why did I want to make the music that I did? Why did I want to make a coaching community? Yes, we do need that external engagement, absolutely, especially when we're sharing, but it shouldn't be the motivation to share. And it's great because now I can do videos like this and put them out there, and I think I'm just sharing. That's my part of the responsibility. I am not responsible for how people receive it and whether they want to then send a like or a comment or whatever. I would love that, but if I don't get those things, it's not a reason for me to give up, because I know within myself this is something that I need to do, that I have to do. It brings me joy. I know I'm going to get to my destination, but it needs to be in alignment with an ingrained self sense of my own worth. So no more chasing external validation. Number 8, instant gratification, the I want it now mentality. Again, I was in that space of looking for external validation and I needed it now. I was in a space working in an environment which was very problematic, and my idea was, if I can just get my creative work or my coaching work onto some golden chariot, it's just gonna like light beam me off into a space that is all the things that I need and more. I wanted it immediately, and it meant that I disengaged from enjoying the journey, enjoying the path to get there. It's so easy as well, like I said earlier, that, we see people doing the thing and we're like, woo, I want the thing. But actually, what we don't see is the journey of them going from novice, beginner, no connections, don't know anyone, unless you're a Nepo baby. So, but that's a side note, to creating what we now know of them. And that is a big part of why I want to share, the grit, the guts of this journey. I am coming out of a year off because I was burnt out, because I was chasing instant gratification. I need it now because I need to know I'm worthy. I need someone else to tell me that I can and I should and I must do this, and I need them to tell me now. It was not a nice way to live. So yeah, the instant gratification, no. Instead, what I am doing, what I intend to do, is consistent, committed action, small but steady, day by day. And yeah, I work full time, and there are days where I won't be able to make content or write music or sit and continue producing my EP. But actually, even if it's just 5 minutes where I sit and I think about my plan, or I visualize my destination, or I stop and show gratitude for something that's supporting me along the way, just consistently showing up every day for my creative dream, that is now what gives me the gratification. Not instant kickback, instant reward, but knowing that I'm on this journey and every day I'm taking steps. it alleviates so much pressure. Number 9, giving up, is unintentional consuming of social media. The doom scroll days are done. I've got a timer on my phone. I've got set limits for Instagram and Facebook, and I stick to them. And the days where I need to make and upload content, that counts in that time. So if I fanny around scrolling, not doing anything particular with my time, I know that's going to impact me being able to honor the commitment of showing up every day. So I'm getting really intentional about my social media use. I also know that these products are designed to hold our attention. They're designed to distract. They're very addictive. And when I am in the middle of scrolling through nonsense that I actually won't even retain or remember, I have to bring myself back to the fact that every minute I lose scrolling without intention, so not being connected to a community, not finding inspiration, not receiving information or clarification or a sense of community, that's time wasted. So yeah, the social media doom scroll days are done. That's a hard one for me, but setting a timer has been a bit of a game changer. Something that I gave up over a year ago was also watching TV, which, yeah, so basically don't talk to me about the latest Netflix series. I won't know what you're talking about. I'm so sorry. Am I a social pariah? Perhaps, but it's given me time back in my evenings where I can actually focus on creativity rather than consumption. And the last thing I'm giving up is excuses. Number 10, excuses. There's a brilliant quote where it says, there's excuses and there's time. One of them you will run out of. Something like, I know I've butchered that, but that really hit home because I think about all of the reasons why I haven't done the thing that I was going to do, and they're not good reasons. Another thing I'm really dialing into is not letting my feelings dictate my actions, dictate my moving forward with intention in the plans that I've made. So there are days where I just don't feel like it. I just don't feel like opening the laptop, opening Logic, working on my tunes. I don't feel like practicing. I don't feel like writing. I don't feel like making content. I don't feel like showing up. But I've made this commitment. So no excuses. Like, I don't want to run out of time because I've been cycling through an endless list of excuses. And those excuses, let's be clear, see above points 1 to 9. That's where they all come from. The need to be perfect, the need to wait for the right time to do something, the fear that I'm not enough, the inability to hold a boundary and commit to the plan that I made, to commit to the time that I put aside, like the ability to instantly trash talk myself, or the need for someone outside myself to say, go for it, yeah, I give you permission, or the fact that if you don't get it now, is it even worth it? These things take time, and believing in them takes faith and commitment. And that can be really hard in a world where we scroll and scroll and scroll, and we see everyone doing all the things that we could only ever dream about, and we don't see how we can make that happen for us right now, so we don't bother. So yeah, no more excuses. All I need to do is just show up every day in some way. Might be small, could be big, but for my creative work. And I'm going to share that journey with you. I'll be doing long form content and shorts as well, all here in the YouTube space. So please subscribe to my channel right here. I hope that some of this has resonated with you, has inspired you to dust off the cobwebs with your creative calling and just get back to it, get on with it, start over, start fresh. Like, hell, I feel like I'm starting over. And when I took my break, I was so petulant about it. I was like, I don't want to have to stop. I've built this and I've done that and I'm getting here but what's the use if where you're going and the speed and direction of travel isn't in alignment, you know? So although it may feel like starting over, they say it's like you might feel like you're going in circles, but you're actually on an ascending spiral staircase. And I'm back here, but I have this new vista, and all of these lessons I've learned along the way that I'm sharing with you are helping me continue to ascend towards what it is I'm calling in, which is a life of abundance and freedom and joy, centered around creating and sharing my own brand of music, and also creating this community for fellow creatives. So if this feels like a place you want to be, then make sure you subscribe. I will be back real soon sharing more videos, but yeah, I just want to give myself a day 5 high five. And yeah, I'm feeling so excited. Like I say, I am here for the journey. I can't wait to see what we observe along the way out the window as we move towards the destination. And I'm so glad to have you here. So I will see you soon. But in the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your day and happy lunar eclipse, which is happening tonight in the UK. So yeah, see you soon. Lots of love. Bye.